If Lands Could Kill, featuring Knife City, Aquickness, Ryke, and Hot Sauce.
Clueless, Summer.
Yeah, she told you that one.
Cruel Intentions.
Cruel Intentions? Yeah, Cruel
never
Intentions.
saw that one.
Yep.
Holy crap. And they dragged that one out of the corner of my fucking
I remember
brain.
She got,
Oh, man,
she's
you
all
got beat.
church girl, and then she's like under. I mean, that's pretty gnarly.
I mean, the only reason I know about that is because I jerked off that movie plenty of times.
Okay. That's going on. That's the first thing we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, what's up, you little jock monkeys? This is If Lands Could Kill.
All you ilkites out there.
I'm Knife City.
I'm Aquickness.
Ryke.
Hot Sauce.
And welcome to episode 8.
Oh, goddamn.
We are just chock full of knowledge this episode. You know, whether it's inappropriate behaviors sexually or whether it's cooking skills. We cover the whole gambit here on Ilk. And we'd like you to join us on this journey. So, gentlemen, what has your journey been like since our last talkings?
Oh, our journey has been fucking insane.
Has it been into Nick's?
It's been into Nick's. Yeah, I've fallen down the rabbit hole into Nick's, and it's been good. I've seen the light and ridden the moonworm.
And you played new cards.
And I played some new cards.
Holy
Actually, I have a new
Jesus.
deck other than red-green, but it has green in it. But we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, I haven't been doing too much Magic. I've actually been focusing on learning some programming. I've been learning
Nice.
C# because I've been using a game engine called Unity, which is like kind of like an all-inclusive game engine, and then they do all their scripting with C# and all this boring stuff because I want to make games just for fun. So I'm kind of learning that. But I've been fucking like late at night, just been staying up, just watching fucking these tutorial videos and like
PC
reading
or mobile?
books. Either, any of it.
Oh.
It works.
So, we expect any magic apps in the near future?
No, probably not Magic apps. That'll probably be too hard.
You have to keep up with that shit.
Yeah,
too.
you have to be, like, on
on
top of that.
every day database and fucking.
Okay, so I guess Wizards, like a couple years ago, put out this ill-received deck builder app, and like it's been lost to the ages because it just sucked balls. Ryke, I give you a challenge.
Oh, challenges.
That you put out an app that is half the app that was.
That seems
Like incomplete.
That seems
like
just
half the
very
page
easy.
there.
Yeah,
I can do like
Pretty much you've already done it.
yeah, I'm
Like
already,
just
I'm
for
already there.
standard,
Yeah.
like
Just for
fuck
standard? For a deck
like,
builder?
Yeah,
That's probably not that bad. I just need a database. They probably just
It's not hard. You probably pull it off Cockatrice.
yeah,
Got all the stuff in
yeah,
there.
they have all that cool stuff. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Just fucking geeking out, learning code. And
Have
stuff.
you have you seen that program on Steam where you can like build your own RPG?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have-
RPG Maker.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That's pretty cool.
It was like on sale for like $60. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was like $100 and something bucks. And I so wanted to like get it, but I was like, that's one of those things that I'm never gonna do. It sounds like this great idea in my head where I'm like, I can make an RPG and you can be in it and you can be in it and I'll make all this funny dialogue and I'll just I'll $60 goodbye and I'll never do anything.
How much time you think you would need to spend to make a complete experience?
Exactly.
A long time.
Like a 15-minute game would take me a year.
Probably.
Exactly.
Like one person doing it, it's tough.
You'd be
Like,
so fucking sick of your game by that too. None of these jokes are so stupid. You'd be going back to the first joke you did and just making up new ones over and over again.
Yeah,
Just throwing the
exactly.
computer out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll start with Pong, and then I'll work my way up to the Magic the Gathering.
Pong with like real physics.
Like
Solid.
like 3D Pong or something cool, like Breakout or something. Fucking cool. But anyways,
lately, you know what I did is I played The Last of Us, the DLC for Last of Us. I don't know if anyone's here has played that at all, but Last of Us was a game for PlayStation 3. It won like all the fucking Game of the Year awards last year, and it is probably the best game I've ever played. And they had a little like 2 to 3 hour downloadable content for it. That did you guys ever play the final DLC for Mass Effect?
no, actually, I haven't played any of the DLC.
You haven't played any of the DLC?
Like
Okay.
all the Mass Effects have had DLC come out for, and I've not played any of it.
So
but I love the Mass Effect.
the Mass Effect, the final one, it was called Citadel, I believe, and it was like a send off to the series, where
Oh, okay.
it was like lighthearted and fun, rather than being extra missions and just and extra serious missions. It would have like a couple of serious battle missions, but probably over half the DLC for Mass Effect and for Last of Us is like lighthearted and fun, and it's just like characters interacting and telling like the little tiny fun stories. Like, hey, you remember back here when we did this, whatever? Oh my god, you're
well. The game was so intense. Like both of those games are like fucking
exactly. They're real dark, and they needed this like lighter send off. And they're both still dark because they still, take certain turns and maybe people live or whatever, people die. There's like different shit that happens in each one. But the DLC was really good. I mean, it was really fun. And if you're looking for something that's like heavy in action and all this stuff, like the rest of the game, it's not like that. It's just a fun little send-off, so.
It's cool, yeah. Like, for some reason, DLC and me, I just don't...
DLC and me?
Yeah, it's just, I don't do it. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm sure, like, there's like, good DLC out there, but it's just the fact that I have to pay for extra content for the game that I already bought, it's kind of like, maybe one day when it's, like, $1 a piece.
Fair enough. I just think, I love sticking in the universe.
Like, yeah, extending your...
Anytime when like, Borderlands is a good example of a company or a game franchise that pumps out DLC, and so you get done with the game and you know that you just have to wait like 3 weeks and they're going to pump out another 10-hour DLC, and then 2 months later there's another one. 2 months later there's another one. It's like you can get 100 hours out of a linear game. It's ridiculous.
It's like if it's worth it, like if you are invested and you like the game, then fuck yeah, DLC. But like every game pumps out DLC now, it feels like. And
my problem with that is because a lot of companies now, they have DLC on the game disc for week 1 unlocks. They actually ship it with that content already on your game disc, and then like after a certain amount of time they'll unlock it so you can pay extra or do get this extra content. I'm like, that's cool for a marketing perspective. But as me as a game player, I'm like, fuck those guys, man.
Street Fighter had that. There's a lot of EA games it. Ubisoft has
it's like day one DLC. Like, you could just had it day one in the fucking game.
It downloads like 80 kilobytes.
That was when DLC first came out. I don't know how much they do that now. I'm sure they still do, but I think that was like really like
when it first company had a lawsuit over
game started.
They did, yeah. That's a pain in the ass. I don't know. It's pretty messed up.
Anyways, it's here nor there.
So that's pretty much it. I've just been playing some games and working this new job position I got, so it's been fine. Everything's been good. Solid. Not a whole lot of work to do, but...
solid poops.
Solid poops, dude, all the time.
Yeah. It's the way to live.
Dude, have you guys heard of this new game called Stick of Truth?
Shut up. Who said that?
So our buddy Peppermint Swirl, who does like our art and stuff, he was like, you guys talked about that fucking game for like 5 episodes.
So what do you have to say about it?
Really?
I still haven't finished it. I got like halfway through it and then other shit popped up.
Yeah.
Like it's not, like, okay, so I got the hacked version and like...
Allegedly.
And so, like, with my stupid virus protection software, like, it recognizes the patch or whatever as like a virus. And so every time, like, I have to go drop it back in the folder to open it up again, and it's just a pain in the ass. So.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Might as well just pay the $40.
Yeah.
Your convenience is something I pay for.
Yeah.
Like that.
So $40.
But you know what? When I've been looking at like Steam, because when I first started playing on Steam, I just played Day of Defeat, and that's like all I did for like 7 years.
Knife City, Day of Defeat.
Yeah,
Knife City's talking about the Counter-Strike mod Day of Defeat, not the actual Steam version of Day of Defeat, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about
there was a source version of Day of Defeat.
Yeah, not the
You're talking
standalone.
about the old school, the good Day of Defeat.
Yeah, the shitty looking Day of Defeat.
That's still one of the most played games on Steam. That still is like in the top 10, I think, or top 15.
It's one of my favorite games of all time.
I could talk about that game forever.
That's where Knife City, the name, came from. Just loving to shank people on that game. Make them rage quit. So that's all I played. I didn't care about any of the rest of the shit. But as of the past couple of years, I've been actually like wanting to get games on there because they got deals all the fucking time. So I ended up buying Empire at War. It was on sale for the May 4th like Star Wars sale, and it's kind of like a real-time strategy kind of...
It's a Star Wars game, though.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. But it's like real-time strategy kind of Age of Empires sort of Star Wars game, and it's pretty cool. But the game I really enjoyed which all I wanted was like, I've been looking for a game that's just like just an arcade game, just something I can play for like 15 minutes, and it just kind of
like a Contra thing.
Yeah, kind of like a Contra thing, just like something simple, maybe side scroller, maybe
Metal Slug.
Yeah, maybe bird's eye view, something. And I saw Spartan Assault, Halo Spartan Assault on Xbox One.
Those are quick.
Yeah,
quick
and
matches.
it was like fucking 20, 25, I don't fucking know. Too much for, like, I saw the screenshots or whatever, I was like, that looks cool, but I don't want to pay that much money. So I saw it on Steam for like $8 or something. I was like, fuck yeah. Got it on Steam. Exactly what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you?
I have it on the 360. It came out only for the Microsoft tablet, the Surface.
Yeah, the
came out
Surface.
with that. They had an exclusive deal for that shit, and then they finally brought it out for the Xbox One, and then they brought it out for the 360, and then now it's like everywhere. So
I think it's awesome.
great game. Great game.
I love it. It's exactly what I want in like one of those little 15-minute
Pick up and play.
Yeah,
real quick.
kill some time. Just simple, and it's Halo, and I like
It's
Halo.
fucking Halo.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I haven't sat down for like an hour and played it. But I'll play like 15 minutes here and there, and I'm really impressed with it.
All right. Quick, what you got?
Not much. The usual. I haven't been playing really too many new games as I usually don't.
League of Legends, right?
League of Legends,
Just
you
the
know.
staples.
Yeah,
World of
exactly. Actually, I haven't been playing World of Warcraft.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I'm waiting.
Isn't there like not going to be any more expansions for World of Warcraft
Yeah,
now?
the new expansion isn't out yet, and I was thinking about it because
Is that like the last one they're going to do?
It's the only thing I like to do in Warcraft is raid, and you need to like 25 other people, and then like there's the thing like I started late in the expansion, so it's harder to get into the top tier like I used to be of the guilds. So
You can
I'm
either
just
be top
waiting.
tier in Magic, or you can be top tier in League of Legends. Can't be both. You got to choose one right now.
No, all three.
No, dude. come
Yeah,
on, man.
all
Split
three.
Spread yourself thin.
I know, right?
But
So many hours in the day.
Right.
yeah, I've just been doing that, and then put together a new deck, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
Talk
Yeah,
about
definitely.
Some, talk about
Oh,
some-
And then I went to Friday Night Magic last night with my new deck, and it was more of just a learning experience. I wasn't really expecting to win anything.
But you did?
I won a match out of 4. Yeah. So I lost to like a Bant control deck. I lost to a Naya aggro deck.
Did you see like a lot of diversity?
Yeah.
Like,
There's
everyone's
a lot of
everyone's
different
playing
decks.
a lot of shit. That's awesome.
You know, there's
Great.
like all different flavors of control decks. Obviously, there's Mono Black Devotion and like the green red / Naya / Jund shell
It's looking good. I like this.
going around. So it's a lot of things like that. There's one lady playing like a green white heroic deck, which just she pulled a peppermint swirl, where she like giant growth like 3 times on like turn 2.
and then the deck fizzled.
And then by turn 4, she didn't have any cards in her hand. She's like, shit, well, I don't know. And then she just kept drawing lands after that. I was like, yeah. And after that, I felt kind of bad. So I was like, yeah, you might want to space those out just in case, because once you run out of cards, you're pretty much screwed, you know? So,
That is the peppermint swirl, just like shoot your wand super early. I hit you for 10, and that's it for the rest of the game.
Now I'm done.
so yeah, she said she started around the same time we started, and I was like, okay, she was borrowing the deck from one of her friends, so she didn't really know what to do with the deck, and just the way she was playing, she didn't seem like she was too knowledgeable about certain lines of play, so I tried to help her out, let her know, hey, you might want to space those out a little bit. No, I did refer some people to the podcast. There was one really cool guy. At the end, we were playing a couple matches after our round, just because it ended like with 30 minutes left. He was playing a like a Simic Devotion deck, kind of,
Sounds
which
good.
I thought you would like, Hot Sauce, because it's a little up your alley. It was playing like Garrick, Prime Speaker, Arbor Colossus, like Keratin. It was actually playing Cloning Hydra, which won him both games against me, because he had Cloning Hydra and then he has the Simic Charm. So every time I try to deal with the Cloning Hydra, he'd hexproof it, and then I'm dead. Like, I can't put out enough creatures to block.
Then it's trample anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
sick.
I got blown out by that. And,
So it's probably like a mono green devotion, but then there's like you have to splash in blue for all like the charms. And did he play the Planeswalker or anything like that?
he played like Kiora.
He played Kiora.
Yeah,
okay.
stuff like that. So like, and like the more and more I play against the Kiora with like kind of tempo-y, control-y elements, the more I really think she's going to be an all-star coming up.
Oh, she's a good
in
card.
the next format. Yeah, definitely. I see like a lot
Sweater
of people.
puppies,
Sweater puppies. Yeah.
She had them
Exactly.
sweater pups.
I see a lot of people playing one, they minus her, and then they play another one. You know, because they play a land, draw an extra card, and then they up it after that, and then it's like it's so hard to come back from that. You know, it's really good. And another interaction I saw that was interesting is that they played Kiora, and then I had a Vraska out, and then they +1 the Vraska. So when I +1 my Vraska, meaning they can attack into it, and it doesn't deal damage back. Because you don't deal damage to it, or it doesn't deal damage back.
But
So-
Vraska doesn't deal damage.
But destroys.
But it doesn't do
Yeah,
combat
but you're
damage.
not doing damage to it. So it's like you're not really doing anything, but
Wait, what?
We'll read it later.
yeah.
Yeah. So interaction, I'm...
Yeah,
Not
we'll
familiar
go over that.
I'm not thinking about it. too
We'll
hard.
we'll get the drawing board out and make some little stick figures.
Or
And,
maybe we'll figure out in Noob's Knowledge
or maybe
later
we'll do
on.
that. Do some advanced maths equations. But anyways, I'm sorry.
But yeah. Anyway.
Well, now that that's dead in the water,
Continuing on.
So what do we have to talk about next then?
Oh man.
I don't know if you guys know.
I know.
No, you don't.
I've always known.
I know the Muppets.
So, there's a thing called the Pro Tour.
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
People-
you become a professional?
People
Magic?
play Magic professionally.
No.
for money.
And they even, like,
$250,000 payout overall.
they videotape it
Is
on,
Hookers
like,
and blow?
handheld,
On a
you know,
potato?
VHS.
Yeah, of course.
Betamax
I-
tapes.
Yeah, of course. But, no, seriously, so the Pro Tour Journey into Nyx
Kicked
is
off,
going
right?
on. Actually, right now, it kicked off yesterday.
We're recording Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Saturday morning-ish, early afternoon.
So, I mean, how much of it did you guys watch or check
I
out?
did catch a bit of it yesterday because it kicked off on Friday,
Yeah.
May
It was,
16th. I think. Yeah, May 16th.
It was block constructed, meaning
Yeah.
you can only use the cards in the Theros block.
Yeah, so Theros, Born of the Gods, and Journey to the Nyx were the three
Yeah.
blocks you could pull your cards from.
It was block constructed / limited for this Pro Tour.
Yeah, so they did. I think they did what like
Yesterday was constructed, right?
4 or 5 rounds of limited or something like that.
No, I think it was.
They did a few rounds of limited, I think.
Yeah, I think it was
Or
close
3.
to. No, I think it was a lot more than that. I think it was close to like 7 or 8.
Oh, really?
Rounds. Yeah.
So yeah, well they kick it off with limited, and then once like those however many rounds of limited is done with that the draft format, then they go into the block constructed, which are just all like crazy Elspeth block decks and shit. But it was really cool. I actually got to see a little bit on Friday. I was watching at work, and I saw some pretty cool decks. But I kind of guessed it. Like as soon as I heard that they're doing this and it was block constructed, I was like, "Yep, it's just going to be all Elspeth decks. Like everyone's going to have some form of white, and either splashing white or like focused on white, and be playing Elspeth." And actually, a lot of decks did have Elspeth, but the card that I saw that was like crazy good was the blue Prognostic Sphinx.
Yes.
That guy is crazy.
So,
Strike
Some-
3 on attack.
some people...
Discard a card hexproof, is that what it is?
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
he's a what? He's a 5-drop. I think he's 2 blue mana.
Yeah.
3
and
colorless.
3 colorless, and he is a 3/5 flying body, right? And he has the ability that every time you attack with him, you get to scry 3 motherfucking cards.
That's
which
a
is-
lot of fucking
That is a
scry.
lot of scry. That is
I
almost.
saw on camera
as good as drawing a
some
card.
guy scrying 9 cards.
I think it's better than drawing a card.
9 cards.
honestly.
Yeah.
9 cards. I can do it 9
9.
times.
But yeah, so this guy is amazing, and he has the added bonus of discarding a card from your hand, and he gains hexproof, which is crazy.
So some
Yeah.
people think that block constructed is a good indicator of what standard is going to be like after rotation.
I think that makes sense. Yep.
Some like good all-star cards to build around.
So I just want to say right now that I think Ryke kind of made an early prediction and picked up a bunch of prognostic sphinxes, and I think that might be like a win condition for blue. You know, and for like control decks, because it misses a lot of the removal. So like Elspeth can't hit it. Last Breath can't hit it. Plus, it has fucking hexproof. Like
Flying
it's
evasion.
Flying has evasion, and it fucking scries 3, dude. That is so.
Yeah.
That's such a.
And it's 5 toughness, so like no, even a burn spell can't get to it.
The big
Yeah,
thing about
so
this
good.
is the 3 power is the main all-star of this card because it dodges Elspeth's minus abilities.
minus 3.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Oh, you said oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
And then
Were you not paying attention?
Well, yeah.
it dodges,
Hey, wait, hold on a second. So
hold
Elspeth
on.
has a -3
wait,
ability.
what's Elspeth?
Okay, Elspeth.
Have you guys heard of this game called Stick of Truth?
All right.
No, it has 5 toughness, so
Yeah.
it dodges Anger of the Gods.
Oh yeah, Anger of the Gods and fucking all the burn spells that are out there right now.
The only burn spell that does hit is Fated Conflagration. if you don't give it hexproof, so
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
If they're gonna waste that on that one card, then that's fine. You're probably
Yeah.
gonna hexproof it anyways, but
yeah.
Well, the thing that's nice about it, it dodges so much removal that you don't really need to worry too much about giving it hexproof because it's like, how many cards can actually deal with it? And if they do deal with it, fucking give it hexproof, and then you don't have to worry about it.
There's one card they were talking about in the Pro Tour that's an actual hard counter to Prognostic Sphinx, and that's Thassa's Ire. The 1-drop enchantment where you pay 4 and you get to tap something. Because you think about it, you're going to do it pre-combat, you're going to tap it down before it attacks. So even if they want to give it hexproof, they still have to tap it anyways. So you're paying 4 mana to have them discard a card, and they can't attack with it. So they don't get to scry. It's a 1 mana enchantment, you know, it comes down early. So, and it's 4 mana to activate, so it comes before you can even play the Prognostic Sphinx.
Yeah, it's cool utility.
So, you know, it's one of those things where it's in the same color.
Yeah.
So usually if you're playing Prognostic Sphinx, you can play Thassa's Ire. So you really only have to worry about stuff like that in
It's definitely a
mirror
sideboard
match.
card, I'm sure. There's not. I mean, it's kind of thin otherwise, but I mean, I'd dedefinitely play it as a sideboard.
I mean,
You know,
for like
people-
block constructed, I think it's probably good, but
People play Debtor's Pulpit when the Return to Ravnica block was around, just to deal with Aetherling. And that's kind of like the same thing we're having right now.
I have no idea what
So-
Debtor's Pulpit
Yeah.
is.
Debtor's Pulpit, it's a 5 mana enchantment. It enchants land, and then you tap the land to tap a target creature.
oh, that thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so, and especially since, like, a lot of the format is about going tall rather than wide. Tall meaning you're putting a lot of pants, like enchantments on stuff. Being able to tap down a creature is, I think, really good. So, yeah. But then again, like, if you only have, like, one or two answers reliably to a card, then it's so powerful that, like, I think Prognostic Sphinx is going to be in every blue deck.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because it's going to fill, because Aetheling's what, 5-drop?
6 drops.
6-drop? So I think
Well,
it might...
technically 7.
Yeah, Aetheling's going to be going away, so it might fill that gap. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it doesn't have unblockable, or you can't, where you can't block it. But I mean, still, it's a good body.
Yeah.
And evasion's
close
always so
enough.
good.
If there's going to be a control deck that has blue in it, which, fuck, every, good...
If you're playing control, you're playing blue.
Yeah, exactly.
To some extent.
So, I mean, I think that's going to be the closer in... Or to help close in a lot of blue decks, just because of the scry for
Elspeth
one.
and Proggy.
Yeah, so you
it.
can find answers with it. And yeah, I when you said you bought a bunch of them,
Yeah.
I ended up buying because they're like 30 cents,
Yeah,
and
they're
like
real
the
cheap.
foils were like $1 or something stupid. So I bought a bunch.
We're going to have to see, like, in the speculation thing, it's like, it seems like a good buy right now, because we don't know what's coming in the next set. But I mean, it could very well be, an all-star breakout card, or it could just fizzle, and there might be something better in M15 or the next blocks that, take its place.
Might be
But,
something in Trumpet.
but it is kind of like, for like 30 cents, I mean, you can't really beat that kind of
Yeah.
speculation, even if it never, comes to fruition, and, there's always that chance, because you never know what's going to come out.
Yeah, well, I mean, like when cards come out, and then people are like, "Oh, that card's no good." Like I try and look at it through its lifespan and standard. So like after rotation, like a lot of the cards that, aren't played now or people
Yeah.
think suck, like
That's because there's an answer now, a different answer that's stronger now, but it won't be later.
Yeah, there's an answer now, or there's just something better you can play instead of that card. So I try and like look at it like into the future, you know. And so, I mean, I didn't do that with Prognosis Rings. I kind of took that a note out of your book, Ryke. But I try and do that with like a lot of cards, and that's why I got a bunch of Underworld Cerberuses.
Oh yeah,
Cerberi.
Well, that's the cool thing about Magic, because you never know. Like, this block is like, we already know the meta. Like, the meta is like set in stone. Like, even the Journey of the Nyx came out, and it didn't really shake up the meta too much for the standard portion. But it's like, once it rotates out, and then we get our next block, it could be completely different. Like, right now, like, you know, Control and Mono Black are like the top dogs, right?
Like, prime example is Desecration Demon.
Yeah.
You know, before when it came out, it didn't really have a home. Everybody thought it sucked, even though it was a 6-power flyer for 4 with a slight downside to it. Like, nobody played that, even though it was really good. And now look, we get a whole new set, and it's in the best deck pretty much that you can get. So it's like, it's one of those things where you have to still look into the future. But the future is still uncertain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do have to say, I remember Hot Sauce playing it, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I've never seen that card before in my life. And he's like, I don't know why people don't play this card. It's fucking sweet. And then, boom, fucking Mono Black fucking started sucking Desecration Demon's dick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Yeah. That card makes fucking Mono Black. Well, that and Pack Rat are like the Mono Black.
Pack Rat and Underworld Connections. Pretty much what's Mono Black is.
So,
but there's a lot of other decks they're playing in the block. The thing I like about the Pro Tour right now is that they're doing block, and block is really diverse right now. There are a lot of different, like, because it's new, and there's not like a lot of like meta already established for it. So a lot of the pros are already kind of brewing something different. I mean, maybe they might be already an archetype like Mono Black or something like that, but it's like the pool of cards that they have is a lot more limited than standard, and so you're getting a little more diverse kind of changes in the deck. So they have like, right now the All-Stars are like a blue, black, green control, like a bug control. They have
Esper control.
They have a red, green Elspeth. Decks, or red green with Elspeth, because Elspeth is just bonkers. Yeah, and there's some good freaking like, I think even mono red showed up. There's like
there's some like aggro decks.
It's really cool to watch. But
I think there was a red white like heroic type strategy too.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that red green Elspeth. I think that's a real good indicator of once standard once we get our rotation. That I think red green is going to be a good position with Xenagos. And even just like Naya. Naya's, I think, going to be pretty strong.
Yeah. And especially because in red-green you have Pulse Crusher. I think it's going to be a little bit underrated. It's going to be one of those things. So, you know, the whole block was enchantment-based, and we're going to see more enchantments going forward because they kind of want to still support it. Mm-hmm. And I think he's just going to be really good.
Pulse Crusher, man.
Pulse Crusher is an all-star, but he's just outclassed by the cards right now.
He's dodging a card that's going to be in the meta for a long time. Banishing Light.
Chain to the Rocks. You know.
Yeah, Chain to the Rocks is going to be a next all-star also. Once again, it didn't find a home until like this past probably like 3 or 4 months, I feel like. Yeah. I don't feel like the red, white, burn or all that stuff was playing it much, and then now like it does, and there's a couple other things like the Naya, I think. Does they play them too?
I think they can. I think they probably like Banishing Light before they play.
Either way, I think that there's a couple cards like that are
we'll have to see how it is. I think definitely red white with the new god, maybe after rotation. Depends on what M15 gives us and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to after rotation. But yeah, this Pro Tour is pretty cool. There's a lot of famous people out there.
Yeah,
they got a lot of the All Stars back. But it's still going on right now. It's Saturday, so I think they're going in the top 8 today. But the cool thing about this Pro Tour is on Sunday, which is tomorrow for us. You'll probably know what's going on when you hear this. But they're announcing the new sets that they codename Huey, Dewey, and Lewis or something like Louie. Yeah. So that's going to be really cool. And I'm hoping to see like a lot of like enchantment stuff, because I think devotion and enchantment stuff aren't going to go away. Yeah. In this next block, I think they might shift it a little bit, is my speculation, but I think there's still going to be a good influence on like devotion and enchantments.
Maybe some more hybrid cards.
Maybe some hybrid, some cool hybrid cards. But I don't think they're going to detract too much from what they have now, because otherwise it's going to make all like the gods and all that stuff like that they made not as much playable as they already
We're
are.
going to see some like double, triple color casting costs, permanents coming into play.
That would be sweet.
Well, I don't see them supporting too much of what they've already done in the Theros block, because every block, I mean, it
has a theme.
Yeah, it has its own theme. So they did enchantment, so they don't want to like just
put out all enchantments.
Yeah, all
it doesn't have to be enchantments, but it should be the mana symbols.
Yeah, it's not hard to inadvertently just make devotion good, because all you got to do is put pips in the casting costs.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're gonna actively like
suppress it or something. Like we're not doing any enchantments.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be like the main thing like it was in Theros.
Yeah,
like there's gonna be lots of colored pips on the cards. There's going to be enchantments, but it's not going to be a thing like it was in Theros. But what is probably going to happen is the players are going to pick all the things that support devotion. They're going to pick out all the things that support enchantments, and they're going to add it to the already existing meta of the Theros block, because that's what happens in every rotation. You have this good chunk of cards, and then you just kind of pick and choose what to add to it until there's enough cards to where you can make your own sort of thing.
That's kind of what we're seeing now. Like, a lot of the decks you see now are based in Return to Ravnica, and they have supporting cards from Theros block in the deck.
Right.
So,
the thing with Return to Ravnica is it's just the power levels off the charts.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not playing Return to Ravnica cards of that block.
But it's kind of like one of those design things. It's like, as you design something and you move forward, you kind of want to, like, have a progression.
Yeah.
So you don't want to make, like, a block that feels inherently weaker than the one you just came from. So, like, because that doesn't seem right. People will get put off by that because they want to play with new, powerful cards. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I think I read somewhere that they are, on this next set, they're doing a bottom-up approach. Because, like, a lot of times they'll do, like, make...
Theros was top-down.
Yeah, they'll make, like, good cards, like gods, and then they'll start building supporting cards from that. I think they're going to start with the not-so-amazing, like, supporting cards and build up that way, which will kind of be interesting.
Knife, you follow the lore a little bit. Is there anything that you think's going to happen in this next set? Is there any indication from like what in the previous stories and all that stuff of what's happening next?
Well, the second installment of Godsend just came out on the 13th.
Right.
What the fuck is today?
But that's just covering Theros.
That's just covering Theros. But I wouldn't be surprised if at the end, like, it kind of gave an indication of the next plane that was going to happen.
I would think so.
But there's also, like, stories on... They call it the Mothership, which is daily MTG. It's Wizards, website where they give out all the news and everything. But they also put out like little lore stories, and so like I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was some slight indication of where we were going to go from there.
So what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a completely new plane like Theros, or are we going to like?
Be a new plane. Mario Rosewater, whatever his name is, already says we're going to a new plane.
Okay.
And,
exciting.
The story behind it, I'm pretty sure, is going to be what the Duels of the Planeswalkers 2015 is going to be about. It's about Garruk and him being cursed by the Chain Veil. And I think that's what the story is going to be about this time around. 15 is going to kind of cover the Garruk and like kind of bringing up the problem. And then the next block, I think we're going to go in and resolve the problem, pretty much.
So... for those who don't know, Garruk the Veil Cursed was like a black. He was like poisoned by Vraska or cursed by Vraska.
Was it Vraska or Liliana?
I'm sorry, Liliana.
Yeah.
All those hot black planeswalkers, So Garruk the Cursed, the Veil Cursed, was set in the Innistrad block. Or whatever it was, right?
I think that you're thinking of like Garruk, the Relentless or something. The flip card.
Yeah,
that was the Innistrad card. Yeah,
that was Innistrad. Yeah,
that was Innistrad.
But when you flipped it was the Veil Cursed, right?
Yeah.
So just by
maybe
I don't know.
So just by that,
I don't know.
And the Innistrad block was kind of had like a dark kind of like zombies and vampires and sort of just like a dark theme to it.
Right.
So I think
we might get a recurrence of it.
Yeah, it's going to be like a dark theme where like Theros was kind of like a bright, like monsters.
Heroic.
Monsters are heroic. And
Now we're gonna get like emo
heroes.
guys.
Heroes, exactly.
So it was like this very brightly themed set where I hope that we're going into like this, darkly themed set because I don't know, that's my thing when I play. I like the dark side.
So we got more mono black shit. We got more-
Well, I mean, just by looking at Waste Not, the enchantment from M15, that's clearly a very good black enchantment. And so, I'm hoping it's going to be...
Enchantment?
Well, black doesn't have any good, like, fucking constellation. Well, I mean, it does, but it's not...
Doomwing Giant?
Black is usually the weakest when it comes to, like, enchantment.
Grim Return, the 1/4 where you lose a life when an enchantment comes in?
Yeah, or...
It's not better than, like, Eidolon Blossoms.
Yeah.
Though.
No, I don't want bosses.
But it's what black wants to do,
But
and it's a good body.
Erebos is Dictate Erebos. That Dictate. So anyways,
Yeah.
I just hope the next set is very darkly themed.
A lot of
'cause
emo kids running around.
Yeah.
Some, like, chains and trench coats and
Yeah.
big knee-high boots.
Smoking menthol cigarettes.
It probably is going to be, because I think,
Hair in your eyes.
Garrick is, he's now been cursed, so I think he's going to have this little army, and it's going to be all, like, cursed. Like, it could be, like, zombies or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
or like undead wolves.
Yeah.
or
Dead
something.
Wolves. Yeah, that sounds great, honestly.
Undead wolves.
So I heard that they were, or not, I didn't hear. This was like speculation from, I forget where it was, but they were saying that they kind of want to make like the Planeswalkers a little different.
Jason's coming back.
I'm sad that they're not going to reprint Garuk, because I know if they're doing like this curse thing or whatever, then they're not going to reprint the group
gonna
that's
be
in
black.
F14. Oh
Yeah.
man, because I love this. I really want this group to work, but it's just he doesn't have a home and a lot of the things. And I was hoping next block that I'd be able to play him, but maybe next
We're
time.
going to get, what was it, Geisa?
Oh, the elf
chick?
Yeah, the elf Planeswalker.
Oh, that would be kind of cool for green.
She's gonna be in
because I don't think Garuk's going to be green in this next set.
No,
and
he's gonna be black.
15, yeah. So.
And if he is green, it's going to be black-green. But I think he's just going to
Yeah.
be straight black.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
So stick around for, by the time you listen to this...
You'll already know what the
Yeah.
names and probably the plane that's going to be set in.
Yeah,
when
so
you-
us speculating is probably stupid.
I just want to...
So what, if we were right? Or
Yeah,
if we were
we'll
wrong,
come back to
send
this
us-
and be like, hey, we were right on the money, or...
You guys
know,
need to shit all over us in the comment section.
or, like, you guys have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Idiots.
You retards.
And so a lot of the conspiracy set, or not a lot, but some more of the conspiracy set has been spoiled.
Oh, some good cards I've been waiting to play with.
And just like I thought, I think we're going to want to draft it. I was excited about conspiracy, even though it's like not a part of a block or anything, but it looks fun, and we're going to get some older cards and some new cards, and I'm totally excited for it, and I think I will be getting a box just because it sounds fun.
You guys are all rich.
I know, right? Damn, a box.
In a box like $200 or something.
$10,000.
That's what they were talking about. It's going to be about $200.
I think we already talked about this on the last podcast
Yeah.
about the Jace effect, about how they need to overprice things in the beginning before they actually go on sale, because what if there is something really valuable in the set, So
Makes sense.
hopefully, it won't be $200, but if it is, I still might.
We might just chip in.
I don't
Drop
think
a
it's going to be
box.
200 because I don't think the Jace effect really takes into account on the conspiracy, just because the 15 other format playable cards are reprints and everything's new, and then they can't go into standard decks or anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure you might be able to play it in Commander. I'm not sure what is with that, but yeah, the 15 regular format cards are reprints.
Right.
So I think if it's anything higher than a regular booster box, it's just because it's probably going to be like a limited run, limited print run or something like that to make it so it's not that widely distributed, so they can't lower the price. But that's probably gonna, because like there's even then like the cards that we're printing are like very powerful cards that are pretty expensive. So they're definitely played in pretty much 85% of the decks in Legacy. So
Fuck yeah! So, ladies and or gentlemen, I've heard some rumors, some mutterings,
Little bird
some
told you.
mumblings that you guys, specifically Ryke and Aquickness, have built some new decks.
New standard decks.
New standard decks.
That aren't what we usually play.
Yeah.
Outside of the color.
Well, I mean, not even like that you usually play. It's just you built new decks. 'Cause red, green monsters and control gets a little tiresome.
I have the most awful deck in
You
standard
have the most
right now.
dirtily deck.
Yeah, I have the most dirtily deck ever in standard right
And I
now.
love it.
And it takes forever
I
to
love
play a
it.
game.
I love it.
So I stole the idea from a pro player, I think he's a Japanese pro player, Tamaharu Saito.
Yeah.
And I built his green-white Enchantress Pillow Fort deck, which is a lot of fucking fun. So this is essentially a deck where you just dirtle for a million turns until you can get down a card called Sphere of Safety, which prevents people from attacking you. But the main synergy of this is the Enchantress effect, which is, I think it's an older card called the Enchantress, which essentially, when a certain type of card, an enchantment card, comes down, you can draw a card, which they reprinted a card kind of like that called Eidolon of Blossoms during the Nyx. And so it's centered. The two main players in this deck is the Eidolon of Blossoms and the Sphere of Safety. And the Eidolon Blossoms is just kind of I don't use it as a body or anything like that. It's just a draw engine for just to get card advantage. And then I have a finisher of Elspeth and Primeval Bounty, which is its two kind of win conditions. So the whole point of this deck is pretty much get Eidolon of Blossoms out, play a bunch of enchantment creatures, get your Sphere of Safeties online so that your player can't do anything until he pays like 8 million mana, and then end up dropping an Elspeth or the Primeval Bounty and win that way. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm used to playing red-green where it's just aggro and I'm just attacking and playing creatures every turn. So this one's kind of like you just want to stall the board as much as you can until you can get your Elspeth online, and then you just win off her or the Primeval Bounty. So it's definitely, I guess you can kind of almost say it's kind of control-y, except I don't get rid of any of their creatures or care about really what they're doing as long as I have a Sphere of Safety out.
Well, you do throw Banishing Light, because
I do
that's
play
an enchantment, so it helps you out both ways.
Play Banishing Lights just because they are enchantments and they are a way to remove some things. But this deck is really susceptible to control decks just because they have the way to get rid of my Sphere of Safeties and my enchantments. They have their spheres. They can detention sphere my sphere,
or Banishing Light,
which could just ruin my day. But
or dissolve.
Yeah, they can cancel a lot of my spells. But I mean, it's a lot of fun against aggro decks and stuff like that because I play the green suite of good creatures like Corsair Crufix, of course, because he's like the best green creature.
And it's an enchantment.
Arguably one of the best cards. Like in standard right now. Corsair Crufix, and then I play Sylvian Caryatid as another good body to fight against aggro guys. I play 4 Elvish Mystics just for the ramp ability. But,
I got to ramp into that Spear of Safety.
The other cool card that I play is they don't really see play is the Karametra's God of Harvest, the god, which is a 5 mana. It's a 3 colorless, 1 green, 1 white. It's indestructible, and as long as it's not a creature until you get Devotion to green and white is 7 or more. But the thing about this is whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a forest or plains card and put it on the library tapped, and then shuffle your library. So it's kind of it adds additional ramp because you just really want a lot of mana in this deck because you're going to be playing a lot of enchantments and drawing a lot of cards. So you want to be able to keep comboing those enchantments to get even more cards until you get to your Elspeth or your Primeval Bounty.
It's good too because then you get to pull lands out of your deck, and then eventually you're just going to keep drawing into spells rather than when you play your enchantments and you draw your card, you're not drawing a land, you're drawing a spell.
Exactly. And the cool thing about this god is it's a 6/7 body, which is pretty beefy.
Yeah.
And it's almost 99% of the time online. Just because I have so many enchantments that are in green-white color that even off the enchantments alone, I can almost get 7 mana to turn them on.
Yep. Eidolon of Blossoms is double green.
Like Eidolon, Corsair, Sylvan, and Elvish Mystic.
Yeah, so it's a really good body. Like I read that people play the Heliod God just for the ability to create the tokens, which are enchantment tokens, which would proc off Eidolon. But I feel like this guy is easier to get online instead of having to worry about getting 5 white sources online. So, but I mean, it's still an indestructible body, and it's a fun deck, dude. I mean, it's not a tier 1 deck in any stretch of the mean of the word, but it's fun to play in like a casual format setting.
It looks a lot of fun. It's kind of like what I like to do. I like to just like draw a bunch of cards and kind of like play Magic and kind of like
Be a pain in the ass.
This deck is just like
Don't hide it as I just like to play Magic.
I like to play solitaire myself.
this is just like Dirtle till you die kind of deck. Well, this is really cool.
Yeah, the opponent draws a card. Okay, pass turn. Okay, cool. Let me set my deck up. Okay, he draws his card. Throws in his enchantment. Draws another card. Okay, let's go ahead and throw an enchantment on this land. Okay, that drew me another card. Okay, let me go ahead and let me throw down a Vanishing Light on this. Okay, that was another card. And now you can't attack for. You have to pay 12 to attack each turn and whatever. Okay, pass turn. Draw a card. Okay, pass back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, it's cool because you can combo, because I played the enchantment Fauna Fertility, which is a one green mana enchantment, and it also has the added ability, so if you don't have an Eidolon already out, it'll you pay 2 mana, and you can sacrifice this enchantment to gain another a basic land from your deck, which is good ramp. And then I also play Nylee's Presence, which is a 2 mana enchantment, which you enchant a land that becomes every type of basic land in addition to the type it is, but it also draws a card when you play it, so it's pretty much 2 mana, play an enchantment, draw a card, and then if you have an Eidolon of Blossoms out, you get an additional card, so you're getting 2 cards for 2 mana, and the ability to, play whatever mana you want.
Enchanting the land and tapping for other
doesn't matter.
Doesn't
that.
matter.
I don't use that ability, but I mean, it's pretty much like 2 cards for 2 mana, which is crazy good.
Crazy good.
Crazy good, yeah. It's fun.
Hey, it's a 1 mana cheaper divination.
Yeah, I probably never play this at Friday Night Magic just for the fear of getting stabbed afterwards. It would probably...
At FNN last night, somebody was playing the Maze's End deck.
Oh, really?
And everybody was like cheering for him. It's like, did you beat him? It's like, no, I lost. Like, you suck.
I just feel like this deck takes so long to even do anything. Like, if I stall out the board with Sphere of Safeties, like, I know that they're not going to win unless they can get rid of my Sphere of Safeties, but it just takes so long to get my win conditions online and big enough to be actually kill them that I think it's just going to draw every round, and then people are just going to hate me.
Dude, wasn't there a card that exile all enchantments or exile?
Merciless Eviction.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
what color
so
was
I
that?
saw that
What?
card I played against.
Orzhov? Really?
Yeah, I saw that card on a recent video on TCG Player, and that they didn't know it was coming. The guy that was playing Frank, he didn't know it was coming, and he had this same deck, this Enchantress deck, whatever. The board is flooded with everything. He's looking. He's going to win. He's kicking ass, and that fucking card comes down.
Oh,
and he's
man.
reading it, and he's like, "But what? What?
That's
No.
a thing?
What's it called?
Merciless Eviction.
Merciless
man.
Eviction.
That was funny as hell, man."
That's what I used to play in my original version of my Esper control deck. I used to play 1 Merciless Eviction.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that card existed. That's a blowout.
Choose.
Yeah.
I think it's either choose 1 or choose 2.
So
destroy all
you
enchantments.
choose 1, destroy all enchantments, destroy all creatures, or destroy all planeswalkers.
It's exile all.
Or exile, yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 white and a black, and it's a sorcery from Gatecrash.
That's a blowout.
So I've been trying every time somebody brings up an enchantment deck, I'm just like, what the fuck was that card called? I thought it was red black for some reason, but it's white black. Yeah, that's it's a good sideboard card against your deck.
I
That would
know.
just destroy everything.
I might take this the next time we go to Friday Night Magic.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Magic. I might
Get
take
ready for
this.
some football.
So you got a new card, deck juice?
Yeah.
Aquickness.
I put together Jeff Hooglin. He's a professional player. I put together his junk mid-range deck.
Junk.
Yeah, so it's definitely just a bunch of junk, Nobody's interested in it, so I don't even know why I'm playing it.
This junk costs so much money.
I know. I didn't know junk was so expensive.
Yeah, so, it just plays it's pretty much black, green, white, and it plays all the best cards in those colors. So, we have Blood Baron, we have Obsidat, which already by themselves can win you the game. And of course, we'll play Elspeth as a one-of, just because all our threats can pretty much win us the game by their own. And then we played the 2 Ajani Mentor of Heroes, which I've actually got to Ultimate last night.
Oh, wow, you got to do it?
Yes, I went up to 137 life.
Oh, my goodness.
And this guy had a 16/16 cloning Hydra, and I was like, you go ahead and keep attacking, buddy. I don't even care. So...
That's so funny.
Still, it's 8-turn clock.
Yeah, I know. That's still
I know, but...
Oh, no, it'll grow. Never mind, it'll grow on attacks.
Yeah, so that's still a quick clock, but that's still
45.
cool that you can get... 100 life is nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, and there was only about one time he whiffed on his... when you go search, you look at the top 4 of your library, you pull out an aura, creature, or a planeswalker, and I hit like, what was it? I hit a Putrefy, a Downfall, and 2 Banishing Lights. And I was like, fuck, those are all the cards I need to win the game. And I didn't even get to draw them, so that kind of sucked. But, I play Advent of the Worm, which is really good, especially against control decks. They use Supreme Verdict. Alright, whatever, I'll flash in my Advent at the end of the turn, and then I swing in for 5 trample.
Right.
And it's really good with the Johnny, because if I have a Johnny out, flashing the Worm, I have an 8/8 trample.
Can a Johnny find the worm? Does he find sorceries, only
cannot find the
planeswalkers
worm.
and
It's
creatures?
an aura, creature, or planeswalker.
Okay.
Advent of the Worm is a 4-mana instant
right,
spell.
yeah.
So,
Party Trick City, too. I mean,
Yeah.
besides flashing it in on your opponent's end step, you can also, they come in attacking in or
They
whatever.
attack you, put it
Flash
in, you
it
go like,
in.
okay, now I'm going to block with a
Nobody
5/5
expects the worm.
Exactly. And then she plays, your mana ramp. You have the Sylvan Caryatids and Coursers, obviously. And then it plays, like, some kind of synergistic combos with, like, Archangel, Scavenging Ooze, Elspeth, and Courser, and things like that. So you have a Courser out and an Archangel, play a land, triggers the Archangel, put 1/1 counters on all your guys. It's really good with Elspeth. You make 3 tokens, put counters on them. They become 2/2s there. And, we have a lot of ways to draw cards. We have, like, Underworld Connections and the Ajani. And we don't have to really worry about our life total too much, because we have a lot of just incremental life gain throughout the deck with Courser, the Archangel, and stuff like that. So we can, use Underworld Connections, and we can play lands, shock lands, untapped as much as we want without having to really worry about it. So, I just like the synergies with Archangel and the rest of the deck. Because,
That's a lot of good stuff, man.
yeah. I had, like, an 8/9 Archangel at one point, and he's like...
Yeah,
couldn't do
That's,
anything
what
with it.
do you do against that?
lifelink,
Like,
yeah.
what?
And it's cool, too, because I have Scavenging
Sick.
Ooze and an Archangel out, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to eat with Scavenging Ooze, and
You
then
know
I
what?
put 1 counter and then another counter on it because the Archangel, so...
Guys, it's Doomblade.
It does...
But yeah, so what's your converted cost of this whole deck? Like $100 is your average converted cost for all this good stuff?
Yeah.
Like every card's like $100 in this deck?
I was like, average converted. What? That costs way more than $100. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
It's a little slow.
I think the average converted mana cost came in at like 3 or 4. So it plays like 25 lands. I only have 3 basics in the deck. Everything else
You
is
do
like
run in Brimaz?
No, Brimaz, no.
That seems like a good stuff card.
It
Worth
would.
something to throw more money at.
But we have Courser, we have Hero's
That's true,
Downfall,
you
and
don't
we have
want any more.
Banishing Light, and then there's Putrefy, all at the 3-drop slot. So, and our creatures already are better than Brimaz, so don't really need to put them in the deck.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this junk deck against him.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm still learning it.
I like all that good stuff.
I don't know what a good opening hand looks like. I think that's like my main problem with the deck right now, because I think I can pilot. It's just knowing kind of what a good opening hand looks like. Maybe like a Hero's Downfall, a Caryatid, like a Courser, and maybe like a 5-drop and some lands might be good. But I don't know. Who knows? I don't know yet.
He's got to play it out as many times
I
as he
played
can.
it for the first time last night. I played 4 rounds, and then I played 1 game earlier before we started the podcast. So I'm still learning, But I like the deck a lot. It's something that I'm definitely not used to, because I actually play creatures this time. I have
what are
more than
those?
one. Yeah.
Creatures.
I play more than one creature this time, so it's a brand new world to me.
I know you play a creature, it dies, you're like, fuck this, I'm going back to control.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's awesome. Though. I like that. I like this deck.
That's why I like control so much. I don't have to worry about removal spells.
So
yeah.
I heard there was another new deck among us.
Oh,
Somebody was getting fed by our secret 5th member,
exactly.
Brewdaddy Johnson.
They're Jewish. They write all my jokes and they give me all my decks.
Really?
Very
Wow.
smart. Yeah, and do my taxes.
Oh wow,
Yeah, it's pretty
Trifecta.
Brewdaddy Johnskis.
All right. The deck I have is not my deck. It's by some guy off of Tapped Out. I was looking to see what I could do with Athreos, the new god, and like sack outlets and stuff like that. So I was browsing and I saw this deck list that I was like, that's fucking perfect. It's ideas I wasn't thinking of. So it's a black, white, and green deck, and it plays 30 creatures, 7 enchantments, and 23 lands. And so we'll start with the lands, and it's basically like everything. It's like 4 Godless Shrines and 2 Mana Confluences, 2 Overgrown Tombs, 4 Temple Gardens, 1 Temple Malady, 1 Temple of Plenty, 4 Temple of Silence. It's just like
all the good lands.
It's all the good lands.
Dual lands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it has 3 plains and 2 swamps.
Those are important.
Has that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Basically it's just flooding, so everything has everything is a dual land basically. Which is nice because you're going to need it for all the creatures. Some of the creatures are like dual casting cost. So it's going to be tough as shit. Like I'd probably even throw like 4. Well, maybe not. Maybe say 4 mana for confluences because running 3 colors. You might want it.
4 is a little much. I don't know if I'd want to draw too many because like the life total at that point, if you have to use 2 mana confluences every turn, can add up to a lot.
Right. Yeah. So this deck, it's by a user NA Brown 2. Nah Brown, I don't know, whatever. The deck that it's called, if you want to look it up, it's called How to Recycle Your Junk. So it has, I'll go through the creature list and we can talk about it. It's got 3 Athreos, God of Passage, which is the god that when something dies, something of yours dies, then they can pay 3 life and it'll go in the graveyard, or if they don't pay the 3 life, it'll go back in your hand. Then we have 3 Banishing Light, 3 Banisher Priests as our removal and as a human, which is important. We have 3 Brimaz, King of Oreskos, which is...
King of Oreos.
Yeah, King of Oreos. It's important because it makes tokens, which are other things, just token producer that can sack. And there's going to be little tricks in here where you can like sack at instant speed and all that stuff. Which is the next one, actually. Cartel Aristocrat, sacrifice another creature you control, and you get the Aristocrat gets protection from, I think...
Chosen color
till end of turn. So you can... All the tokens you're producing, you can go ahead and sack them with that at any time, and that will make them pay 3 life, or you have 3 Xanthrid Necromancers in here, which will produce the zombie tokens off of it, as long as they're humans, which the Aristocrat is. Banisher Priests are. There's 4 Precinct Captains, which are humans. There's 3 Soldier Pantheons, which are humans. There is 3 Voice of Resurgence, because
that's the combo
that's probably what he was thinking, is like Athreos, Xanthrid Necromancer, Voice Resurgence, and there's another one.
Just like Voice, Cartel, and Athreos.
Yeah.
That alone is just a huge combo.
Well, you have another sack outlet, which is like, what is it? Varol's the
Scar Stripe.
Yeah, that one. So that one gives everything scavenge, so shit's gonna be dying all day long. Scavenge is where you can pay that card's converted mana cost and put that many 1/1 counters of its power onto a creature on the board. So, and then also the second ability of sacrifice a creature you control, and I get to regenerate the creature or whatever. So basically everything here is either a sack outlet, a human, or
Token maker,
and then Athreos. So. And then there's 4 Dictates of Erebos also, and 3 Banishing Lights. 3 Banishing Lights, it's obvious. 4 Dictates. The Dictate is whenever a creature... let's see here.
Whenever a creature you control dies, the target opponent has to sack a creature.
Yes, exactly.
Something along those lines.
They play 4 of those, which is pretty ridiculous, because they're 5 mana each. But I can see why you'd need it, because you're going to be sacking stuff whenever you want to at instant speed, so that means you're going to be able to kill their creatures whenever you want to. And I thought of another good thing when you're facing a Desecration Demon and you have a Dictate on the board, you're going to have to sacrifice one to the demon to stop it from attacking anyways. Now you can make it sacrifice the demon, at the same time. Yeah. So, yeah, the deck seems pretty fantastic. I like this decks that have like a lot of synergy. Like the humans deck that Knife has, all of them are... Every creature is a human, and then except for... is Xanthrid Necromancer a human?
He's not a human, but he still gains the effect. If he dies, then you get a zombie.
Okay, so
it's whether him or a human dies.
Right, so this gets that, and then adds on sack outlets, so you can get it like whenever you want to, and adds Athreos, basically.
I like everything in that deck, but the Scar Striped.
Oh, Scar Stripe.
No, the
Voices are really good.
Voices.
really
That's
good.
pretty badass. But I mean, I can see where the Scar Striped would work, just to be able to scavenge stuff that actually makes it
But
to
it's
the
also
graveyard.
another sack outlet.
And it's another sack outlet.
That's the only thing. It's a 2/2 body for 3. It's not going to be doing anything besides using its abilities.
I think that he put that in there just for Cartel. Because the only problem Cartel Aristocrat has, you have protection from color. Sure, you swing in, but it's for 2 every single time.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to pump them up, especially since it's such a resilient threat. I think being able to scavenge onto the Cartel is really good. One other card that I think would actually be a really good addition I just thought of to the deck is Eater of Hope. The one where you pay a black, you sacrifice, gives protection, or you sack 2 creatures and you destroy target creature.
That's not bad. But you got to keep that scavenge card in there too then. Because you're going to be sacrificing tons of stuff.
Yeah.
You want to be able to do something with those
But,
cards.
I mean, you can
regenerate the Eater of Hope, right?
Yeah, by sacking one.
Right.
You
But the other creatures that you're sacrificing to it, you want to I think that the scavenge thing is good. In the same turn, you could sacrifice a creature on the board and then pay that converted mana cost and pump up Eater of Hope to attack, in the same turn.
Then again, he's already a pretty decent body by himself. I think he's got 4 or 5 power.
He's 6. I think he's
6'4".
6'4".
6'4"? Yeah. Okay, so and it's very resilient, so you might not necessarily need the Valeros to get through, but it's like icing on the cake pretty much. It's kind of at that point win more.
I think it's see, I'm disagreeing with you guys. I think it's a really big part of this deck. Looking at all the stuff it can do. It's sacrifice outlet, but you can do the same turn. A creature could die, and then they lose 3 life because of Athreos, and then you go ahead and scavenge that creature onto whatever and attack in. They're getting you're swinging for 8 or whatever that turn, or I think it's really really powerful.
Do you think you're gonna make this deck in paper?
I have a lot of stuff, so
voice runs out.
Yeah, the thing is
the
voice.
It's so expensive.
And there's
Maybe
no
not.
replacement for Voice of Resurgence.
But voice, you can sacrifice voice at any time, and then bring out this creature that's going to be fucking huge because of all your tokens.
Is voice playable and do people play it in modern?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a huge factor
Is it?
in modern.
Okay.
It's
Then, it wouldn't be too bad to
if you're playing
invest in
green or white, you are splashing the other color to play voice. Pretty much. That's how good he is.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad to get
Because
him
there's
in
only one card that sees a lot of play in modern that can deal with the voice effectively, and that's the Path to Exile.
Yeah.
It's the 1 mana exile target creature. They get to pull a land out and stuff like that. So they don't get the token, but it sees a lot of play in Birthing Pod. It's really good in that because you sack its Birthing Pod, you bring out 3 converted mana cost creature, plus you get the token on top of it. So
Yeah.
It's a bonkers card.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
no
too
two
bad
ways around
to
it.
invest in it now, but how fucking much is it?
They're $20 a piece now.
Really?
Yeah,
they were
they're
40.
going
I was
down.
gonna
Though.
They're going
say
down.
they were more
They're
expensive.
going down pretty fast. Checking the card price sites online or whatever that kind of track where the trends are going. That's one of the biggest losers or whatever.
Yeah, they've come down a
your
lot.
best bet if you want to pick them up is probably
After.
2 or 3 months before M15 and that stuff comes out, because everybody's going to be looking to offload them.
Isn't it 3 months before M15 right now?
Just about. It's October is when
Is
M15.
it? Oh,
Yeah.
thought it was sooner.
No, I think it's October is when it rotates. Or maybe
It's end of September.
Oh,
September
it is
30th.
sooner.
I thought it was November, and then another podcast we looked it up, and it was Theros came out September 27th.
Oh,
Last year
okay,
or
so it's
something
September.
like
So M15 will come out before October. I think is the next actual expansion set.
that. So you know what
10-15.
though about this deck, about maybe me getting it. I already own some of the expensive stuff, and the only card that's old that costs a lot of money are the Voice of Resurgences.
Yeah.
That and then the Shocklands, which I might just want to just do a bunch of Skylands, I don't know, instead. Just so or I don't know, whatever. I know it's not going to be taking a loss or buying some Shocklands.
Yeah.
If anything, they're going to go up.
Oh,
But
they're
if I got scared away from it, because I kind of like sticking to Standard for a while, I might just buy 4 of each of the temples, which I think I already have. I think I already have 4 of all
you
of them.
definitely want to buy. You want definitely want
All
to play
the
stuff with all the
temples.
temples for sure.
Yeah.
Just
They're
from
gonna
going
go
through
up.
if I had a playset of each Shocklands, I would have so many more decks because I could have just invested in cards for the deck instead of just I have to buy the mana base.
Yeah.
Oh, now I have to buy the actual cards that for the deck to play it. I just bought the mana base because the mana base is can be $100 on its own.
Yeah, that seems like a cool deck though. I want to see that.
I like it.
A lot of synergy.
Yeah.
A lot of
I want to see
synergy.
that sauce.
Ladies, July 18th.
Is when M15.
You were way off.
What are you talking
M15.
about?
Oh.
M15.
Comes out July 18th?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter, because it doesn't rotate then.
No, I'm just saying that's when it comes out. You were saying it comes out. You were talking about rotation?
I was talking about rotation, my bad. I misunderstood then. I was talking about Theros date, which I'd have nothing to do, I would have been talking about M14 dates.
Yeah, rotation is like end of September.
Yeah.
Or something. But M15's coming real fucking soon.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be crazy. Right.
All right. Oh, well, we totally forgot. Speaking about new decks,
Oh, yeah.
we had... Actually, the fuck is your name? Hot Sauce?
God, stupid. Stop making these little nicknames. Just use
I know.
real
Fucking
names.
Steven.
Fucking parent. Oh! Dude.
Anyways.
Someone's going to steal my credit card information. Fuck.
Yeah, we made what decks? What kind of decks did we make?
Ace Rockola. God damn it.
All of it. That's awesome.
So this guy over here,
The hot sauce.
the sauce boss,
Godfather.
the Godfather, the man of many names and no pants, he had an idea to build some standard Pauper decks. And so...
What is Pauper?
Pauper is where you only play with commons. And so, obviously, standard is only play with standard commons, standard playable commons.
Right, Ravnica and above.
Yeah, so everything that's in standard, but only commons.
Yeah, no uncommon, no rare, no mythics, just the plain black symbols.
No special or time shifted.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
So we actually built some standard Pauper decks. Why don't you take it away, Ryke? What'd you build?
Yeah, so I went, shockingly enough, to red, green, white.
What?
Yeah, I built a red, green, white Anaya deck.
I haven't really seen it yet.
So my main cards I play are going to be green, red, and then a little bit of white. And the red, green cards, the main card in this deck is the Madcap Skills, because that is a blowout card. And then I also play a few hexproof guys, as well as a Nespian Ass for Finisher, and a Rebel Belt Makas, which are kind of like used for Blood Rush. I play some Deadly Recluses just for Death Touch,
Yeah.
which is amazing. I play a few combat tricks like Titan Strength and Fall the Hammer. But I think the all-star in my deck is going to be Slaughterhorn. It's a common card. It's 3 mana, 2 colorless, 1 green, and it's a 3/2 body. But the main thing about this guy is his Blood Rush ability for 1 green. You discard this card, you pay the 1 green, and any attacking creature that you attack with gets +3/+2, which is crazy good combat trick.
Yeah.
1 mana?
Yeah.
For 1 mana. Same with Rebel Belt Maka. It's a 1 mana card for Blood Rush as well. It's just 1 red.
And it can be a creature.
And it can be a creature. So it's both a combat trick and a creature if you need it.
It was kind of like Bestow.
Yeah,
Bestow
exactly. And then my removal in this deck is kind of like I use Lightning Strikes, Shocks, and then like Pacifism, and then I use also God's Willing just to get damage through. But I don't have too much removal. I'm kind of more on the creature heavy side of this deck. I just want to get as many dudes out as possible and just keep attacking
Makes sense.
with Madcap Skills and then combat tricks. I do run a few the 2-headed Cerberuses, which are 2 red, 1 colorless, and they're a 1/2 double strike.
Oh, yeah.
And the double strike is just really just to pump them up with Madcap Skills and Blood Rushes and stuff, just to get crazy amounts of damage through, which is awesome.
Hey!
Oh!
Blackass!
Oh, we have a guest here.
You guys are
How's it going?
Never mind.
You know what I liked before? And you were like, you guys are all lame. I like that.
Except for your
You guys
listeners.
are fags. Yeah, except for the listeners. You guys are awesome.
And then I play 2 Crow and Sky Guards just because I like heroic enablers. But that's pretty much my whole deck. Is just red, green, white beatdowns, just like I like to play it.
I think it's going to be pretty damn good. It's a little, like, I have... basically, I have that deck split into 2 decks. I have 2 decks. I have a red-white aggro, and I have a blue-green, basically like green monsters with counter spells and stuff like that. So, it's not quite splitting hairs, but I do play a lot of the same cards that are green in yours, in my green-blue. Mm-hmm. Including that Nespian Asp or whatever, and that Blood Rush guy. And everything on my... It's a Simic deck, so it has a lot of 1/1 counters on stuff, and counter spells, and little combat tricks, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm playing like Shamble Shark, and the Slaughterhorn and Cloudfin Raptor, and all the counter spells, the Starfish that you can scry with. Anyways, all kinds of stuff like that. And then the red-white is just your classic. Like, I need to play Ethereal Armor or whatever, and Madcap skills, and then everything else is just like 1 and 2 drops that are heroic. And that's it. That's basically it. There's nothing else to it. And it's fucking fast, though. You know, when you get Madcap skills and the armor on, on turn 2, you bring out, 2 armors on 1 creature, and now it's pumped up to, a 6 or 7 or whatever, and then you fucking Madcap skills it, and if they didn't remove it by, turn 3 or 4, then you win the game. That's pretty much it. And if it goes into, turn 6 or 7, then you lose the game, so. But that's it. What you got?
Well, at first I started with a, American Spellslinger deck. I tried to do, a lot of burn, a lot of counter, and then, Rise of the Eagles for my kind of, finisher. Where you pay 6, you bring out 2/2 flyers, 2 of them, and you get to scry 1 for it. That obviously did not go over very well, especially when you're facing down a hero with Madcap skills on it on turn 2, swinging in for 5 damage. It's I can't really do much at that point. So I changed the deck out, and now I'm playing a Bant deck. It's called Bant. Yeah, it's white, blue, and green. And it's kind of a Bant enchantment deck. So, I wanted to play Ethereal Armor in something because it's just the best common you can get. So I'm playing things like Glade Clover Scout, 1/1 for 1 with Hexproof, and Triton Shorestalker. It's another 1/1 for 1, but this one, it can't be blocked. And then, I put some enchantments on them. Like Ethereal Armor, where it gets 1/1/1 for each enchantment you control, and has first strike. Aqua Swarm to help my
to make your unblockable.
Yeah, exactly. To help out the Glade Clovers or anything else, because I have bestow creatures in here as well, so I can put one of those on there. Pacifism for kind of removal. I have Feral Invocation, kind of as a combat trick that's an enchantment as well.
Flash 2/2? No, what is it? Which one is this?
Feral Invocation is 2 and a green for a enchantment with Flash, and the creature gets +2/+2. And I think that's it for the. I have another enchantment which is Chosen by Heliod, which is another one that draws me cards. And then I have other creatures, the bestow creatures like Nyxborn Wolf. So it's 3/1 for 3 mana, or I pay 5, and the creature gets 3/3/1. And then Hopeful Eidolon, it's 4 mana bestow, +1/+1 and lifelink, or it can be a 1/1 if I want to come out. And
but you would hope to bestow all this stuff onto either your unblockable or your hexproof.
I'm looking to bestow these, but they're just added benefit that I can play them as creatures as well if I need it.
I like it.
I have a couple of Nimbus Naiads. Because it's a bestow creature enchantment, and
Nimbus Naiad's really good though.
Brings it up in the air. I can gain flying.
Right.
And then there's one more. I have Nyxborn Triton for my other bestow creature. +2/+. It's 3/2, or it's a 2/3 for 3, and enchanted creature gets +2/+3 for 5 mana.
Yeah,
which is really good.
Sounds good.
And then I have one other card, Voyage's End.
Oh, Voyage's End.
Just to help break up the enchantments or heroes, because I know there's going to be a lot of Ethereal Armor, Madcap skills, things like that. Things get Blood Rush.
Getting enchantments to drop off.
Yeah, and then I can bounce it back to their hand. Blood Rush doesn't matter anymore. The enchantments don't matter anymore. So, and plus I get to scry. Helps me scry into more action. So that's kind of my deck. I don't have really anything else other than it. It's very creature heavy. I only have the one spell, which is Voyage's End. Everything else helps pump up my creatures.
I like it.
Nice.
And then big fat shocker for me, I built a mill deck. A while back I realized that a lot of my cards in my actual standard mill deck were commons and stuff. And so when I was looking at what to build for Pauper, had to double check to make sure a lot of the mill cards were common, and I was able to build a fucking mill deck. So I went to build an earlier iteration of my current mill deck. About a year ago or something, it was a Cypher deck I had. for just standard. So I kind of went back to that, but just with Pauper. So pretty much I want all my guys to be unblockable or some sort of evasion so I can get that cipher through. So I have 4 Triton Shorestalkers. It's the ones that just came out
Journey.
in Journey.
Yeah, Quick explained it in his.
Yeah, it's it's a 1/1 that can't be blocked. It's kind of like my boy Invisible Stalker, except it doesn't have hexproof and it's 1 cheaper.
Yeah.
He was my boy.
Oh, man, he's so broken now.
Yeah.
I know, God, I love that guy. Anyways, and I also have Death Cult Rogue. It's a 2/2 for 3, and it can't be blocked except by other rogues. And I don't know if there are fucking other rogues.
Exactly.
There's like 3 other rogues or something. So, and then I have Balustrade Spies. It's a 2/3 for 4. It's a flyer. Whenever he enters the battlefield, you mill until you hit a card, or target opponent mills until they hit a card or whatever.
A land.
A card. A land.
First one.
Hit a card. Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
man, damn
That's some
it.
crazy milling action.
Actually, it says target player, not target opponent, which is interesting. But
Mill yourself.
yeah, I can mill myself. But I learned early on playing this guy that he usually mills between like 1 and 3 cards. On average, there are times where it's like 10 cards later, they're like, "Where's all my fucking lands?" But he's just nice for evasion. I'm also playing 2 Farika's Chosens. It's the 1/1 for 1 Death Touch.
Said Scorpion.
Yeah, it's a Sedge
In black.
Scorpion or Typhoid Rats.
pain in the dicks when it is.
Yeah,
serious pain.
just for some defense and removal. I also have Death's Approach, which is an enchantment aura for 1 black. Or not 1 black, but just a black. Enchanted creature gets -X, where X is the number of creature cards in its controller's graveyard. So, regardless of whether I have enough creatures in their graveyard to kill them, I can just put it on their creature, and it, nerfs it, brings it down to size until I have enough creatures in their graveyard so I
Eventually
can
it'll
kill
kill
it.
it.
Yeah, eventually
it's a good
that
removal.
fucker's going down. I have 2 Asphyxiates, which is the, 1 black destroy target tapped creature.
Which Pauper decks are fucking attacking, so it's a good
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, but it's untapped creature, so I only put 2 in here.
Oh, it's untapped.
Untapped.
Just
Just because if I don't have, if there's haste or some sort of something where I don't get it, because basically you play a creature and then it's my turn, so this is a sorcery, so I just kill the creature.
Yeah.
But if you have a chance to attack, it's not going to be
tap it.
Yeah, or they
Right.
tap it somehow.
Hopefully have the little death touch guy out because then they want to attack into it for maybe a turn or something. and get that out there.
Exactly. And my good old friend Devour Flesh is a common. So I'm running some of those. So
That
that's,
makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah, right.
a lot of. So
That's a
Death's
fucking
Approach,
amazing card.
Asphyxiate, Devour Flesh, Farika's Chosen. That's some good kill action right there. I'm also running some Psychic Strikes, which is 1 blue-black counter target spell. Its controller mills 2. And I love this card. Grizzly Spectacle. Destroy target non-artifact creature. Its controller puts a number of cards equal to that creature's power. So basically, I kill a creature, you mill that creature's power from your deck. Which was awesome when I was playing Hot Sauce. He was bestowing up his guy, he was getting all huge, and
Fucking
I was like...
11-11.
Yeah, and I was
Can't
like,
attack through the fucking 1/1 death touch, and then he just hits me with that.
That
and I
was
mill
amazing.
11 or whatever.
That's so funny.
Sucks.
And then also, the card that everyone hates, and I love it, Crypt Incursion.
The worst card ever.
The best card
believe
for
that's common.
the best card for my mill deck ever. That's
Especially
just
aggro.
great.
Aggro is fighting for 20 life.
yeah.
Aggro is not built for 40 life. Aggro is meant to do the job in a certain amount of time. If you Crypt Incursion and you go up to 45 life, he'll describe what it means, but if you go up there, then Aggro's like, well, that's me,
I'm tapped out and done.
It's instant for 2 and black. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You gain 3 life for each card exiled this way. And I think I Crypt Incursioned you for I was up to like 60 life.
Yeah, 18 creatures, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty silly. I run 2 Tome Scours. It's just for a blue, you mill 5 cards just to get the mill engine going, so I can get my Death's Approach going. And then for Pilfer Plans, it's Divination, but the opponent mills 2 cards. It's for 1 blue and a black.
So I wanted to mention Crypt Incursion is not going to be powerful in a lot of decks because you have to have creatures in the graveyard.
Right.
But when you're playing a mill deck, it's perfect because it doesn't matter if the creatures are dying off the battlefield. All it matters is that you're flipping over cards from your library into your graveyard, and then you can use that card. So it's super powerful for this, but I'm not going to say it's an all-star card for anything else, really.
No, this is a very narrow card. I remember watching some video where these guys were going through all the cards in Gate Crash and kind of like, analyzing them and talking about them. And they came to Crypt Incursion and they're like, this is for like new players. Like, new players love to gain life. There's going to be like 2 or 3 creatures in the graveyard. They're going to gain, 6, 9 life or whatever. They're going to be happy. But otherwise, this card is garbage. I'm like, can they not talk about the one instance where this card is fucking ridiculous?
Exactly.
Where it's a craft card except in a mill strategy. Obviously, if I'm playing a control deck that runs, like, no creatures, I gotta sideboard that shit out. It's a dead card. But this is I run it in my regular standard mill deck. Mm-hmm. And online, I'll Crypt Incursion somebody for 30, and they're like, concede. Like, it's just, It wrecks people.
It's not good in a lot of instances. Just like Scavenging Ooze is not a perfect card for, when you read it, when it first came out, everyone's like, oh, that's a 2 of easy and anything that plays green, like, it's guaranteed. And then we see it, like, fade out for a lot of decks. I mean, there's some decks that it really hits hard on, but same thing, you just gotta build it appropriately, It's not just an all-star, like Caryatid or something like that, where it can fucking be in any deck. You know what I mean? So, any green deck.
But it is devastating when it hits.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Right? It is. It's great. And I you know what? I really like playing Pauper. And I like that none of us, went online to, look for decks. Deck ideas. We just kind of, looked at the comments.
I literally opened my junk box of all my shitty cards and stuff, and I was like, I just sorted out colors I want to play, and this going in, this going in, this going in.
I just pulled all my commons out, and I just went through it, and I just pulled out whatever I could. And
I didn't go online and I'm going to buy these commons because they're so broken or something like that.
Even if we did, it's still going to cost us a fucking $1.
Yeah,
we're sticking to standard, and we're not going back to older formats where the commons are actually pretty goddamn good and might be pretty expensive. Anyone out there that wants to build a Pauper deck with their buddies, and just play casually, you're going to spend, if you order the whole deck online today, brand new, you're spending like $150 plus shipping.
Yeah, shipping will probably cost more than a lot of the cards.
So it's great for if you don't want to spend the $500 to go to a top tier thing. Now you're all on an even playing field for $2.
Well, I just liked it because with a lot of Magic, myself included in this, is you go online and you're you may not net deck your entire deck, but you go and use other people's ideas, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's
except when there is.
Yeah, it's humbling to be okay, well, somebody probably is smarter about this than I am. Let me go, see what they have to say about it. And so, you might start with a shell of a brew, and then you see what other people are doing, and you kind of incorporate that. But this was a battle of the minds. We just looked at the commons we had, we built a deck, and then that was it. And I that was really, really fun for me, and it was just cool to see what you guys built.
Which I think when we're done with this, we should play a couple games of Pauper.
I'm down. So let's move into our newest segment of Noob's Knowledge.
So new that it's not so new anymore.
Oh, it is not new. Our newest installment of Noob's Knowledge.
There we go.
Noob's Knowledge!
So this week we're going to be talking about something that plagues new players. Something that just racks your brain. Something that can solve fights. Something that will save friendships. Something that can help us all. And that is, what the fuck do you do when you have a rules disagreement? we ran into this so many times when we first started playing in kitchen table Magic. Oh, well, this interaction works like this. No, it doesn't. It works like this. No. Hey, Hot Sauce, come here. Read this card and tell me what you think it does.
And we did that a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that. I didn't even think about that, but that would happen all the time. Where we just go look at the other player, the bystander, and be like, "Okay, you read this and you tell me what you think." And whoever then 2-1 decision on how this works.
It was such like blind leading the blind. Yeah. So, I'm sure this happens all the time for new players. Hey, you're playing and there's certain aspects and interactions in the cards that aren't completely spelled out. Or you might not understand how the stack works and you misplay something, and it's just, timing is very important in this game. So what do you do when something like that comes up? When you and your opponent, hopefully your friends,
flip the table?
Flip that motherfucking table.
These rules suck.
Stab him and walk out. No, So what do you do in that situation when there's a disagreement?
Well, we were lucky enough because we started playing Magic. We actually went to a really good game store. Were really helpful. The guy that owns it,
Crazy Fred,
an awesome dude. He was really helpful, and he gave us his business card with the number of his game store on it, and he actually told us, if you guys have any questions at all on how to play the game, any rule, like anything at all, to actually give him a call at the shop. And he would help, resolve the issue or, answer any of the questions. And we were lucky enough to be able to have him as a resource. So if we had any kind of ruling issues, that like maybe the next day we would call and be like, hey, I ran into this problem where such and such rule, and like we were trying to play this, like how does that work? And he would go ahead and explain it to us.
And we used to play there almost every Sunday morning when he opened the shop, and he would just let us play there. He didn't require us to buy anything. We could just go hang out at the shop and play. And as we were learning, we could just walk over to the counter and be like, "Hey, how does this work? Oh, those aren't counters on Consuming Aberration. Oh, they're just +1/+1. Okay,
exactly.
Just little stuff like that where he could be, give us the ruling and." So, that was like super easy.
Yeah, especially when you're first learning the game, like you don't know a lot of the rules, you don't know how it works, you don't know what the stack is. So I think one of the best resources when you're first learning is definitely going to your local game store, sitting down, playing Magic with your friends or like some strangers, people that are willing to help, because everyone really out there is willing to help a new player.
Most people.
I mean, I haven't run into really anyone that hasn't like, oh no, you're new, I don't want to play with you or anything like that. Like back then, but like just having the resource of the game store owner or the staff that work there that are knowledgeable about the game to help you and help you understand and show you how it works. That's one of the best resources for a new player, I believe.
Agreed. Be there in person so you can ask at all times is a good one. And then next step would be like get their numbers, get someone you can call.
Yeah, if they,
probably the LGS owner.
Yeah, if they're nice enough to let you call the store, if they're willing to be able to answer your questions, and that's really one of the. I feel like the best way to learn, because not only do you get like an explanation, but you also get an answer to your situation, because you can read a ruling or something like that, and it won't really explain the exact situation that you've come up in. Whereas an actual person can kind of, parse that information, understand what you're asking, and then actually give you a correct answer.
And then give you the wrong answer.
Or give you the wrong answer, and then you'll know that for the rest of the time.
But it's going to be the one that helps you win that game.
Yeah, exactly. Or, they may not know it, and they just, pull something out of their butt, and then you just play like that for the rest of your Magic career and not even know. And then when you actually go to, like, a Pro Tour or something, or, like, a qualifier, you try to play like that, and they're like, get the hell out of here. You're not welcome
How
here.
did you make it this far?
Pack up your bags and leave.
But that's my suggestion. Local game stores and
or even like
make
make a friend with a judge, or just make friends. Like part of that community building kind of experience that we don't do all that much.
We're lucky enough we have us to play with.
Yeah,
if we can't make it out to a game store or anything like that, we're lucky enough to have enough people to play.
Okay, so somebody lives in Alaska.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Eskimos.
And they have to buy jackets. And probably some mittens.
How do you play Magic through mittens, though?
The shuffling is very difficult.
Oh, man.
And it takes a long time. And you can see your breath. So anyways...
Just talking about all the people that live in Alaska.
Yeah.
And the sun, it always shines. It never goes dark.
Right. In Alaska right now, it's like really nice.
You eat a lot of fish.
Wolves come after you at night and they kill you.
They kill your babies. So, okay, so the scenario is, it's just you and your friend playing Magic. There's no local game store. There's not even a level 1 judge within 1,000 miles of your current location.
Stranded on an island.
Stranded on an island, but you do have a smartphone. And your smartphone has an internet connection, or more specifically, a computer, because my smartphone didn't pick it up when I tried to go there. But you have a computer, internet connection. What do you do when you don't have, somebody else? It's just you, your friend, and the internet. What do you do then?
I Google it.
Okay, well...
The audience can't answer.
No, the fucking show notes are right here.
I know. It's just great how you set it up.
I know.
Why don't you tell us, Knight?
Okay, I was setting one of you guys up.
I was waiting for someone to jump in. I was like, all right.
Finish each other's
Sandwiches!
okay.
So, that's horrible. I'm gonna edit that as a worst joke ever. So there's this website called Ask a Judge. AskAJudge.com.net. Fuck if I know. Google it. Google it. But Ask a Judge, it's a chat room where there's always Magic judges on there willing to walk you through a situation.
Real deal judges, right?
Yeah, they're probably like some, Anyways,
No.
It's a great website, and I'm not going to say anything bad about them. Except there was this dick one time. No, anyways. So, Ask a Judge, and you type in, it's kind of a pain in the ass to, type in your whole situation.
Yeah.
Well, I played a forest, and then I tapped, and then he did this, and he did that. You type it out for about 5 minutes, and then you ask them a question. And they generally respond pretty quickly, 30 seconds, a minute, something like that. And then, but I'm assuming they're all qualified judges.
Or knowledgeable.
If nothing else, they're more knowledgeable than you. But there's always it's like an old school Yahoo chat, and then all the moderators are judges or people who are capable of answering your question, and they give you a ruling on what it is. And that's like a really quick way. We'd be playing over at Peppermint Swirl's house, and it would be nighttime, and our local game store wasn't open at that time, and Crazy Fred didn't give us his home number, so we couldn't page him or whatever, and so we would have to go to that website, type it all out, and then they would give us a ruling, and then regardless of whether, they didn't really explain so much, they couldn't sit there and be like, okay, well, because this and this and this and this and that and this, they kind of just give you a ruling, yes or no, and they might give you a little explanation. But that's definitely an easy way to, it's not going to take you that long to just put the game on pause for a second and be like, hold on, let's type this out. And then, what are you smiling at? You smile all creepy. Fucking Ronald McDonald over there.
I just want a little boy to touch. Okay.
So that's a real easy way to get a quick ruling without having to argue or flip over the table or talk to another human being. You can just type it out and you get a ruling. So here, I don't know why everyone's smirking at me all creepy.
I don't know. Just
Go on.
Yeah.
real good right now.
Continue.
It's like Bugs Bunny,
You like me turning a knife right now?
It's like on Bugs Bunny where one person's really hungry, the other person's like, "Why are you staring at me like that?" And
Like a big old
they turn into a pork chop or something. Like, what are you looking at? What's the matter? Okay, here's another situation. You have a smartphone, but it's not that smart. You don't have a computer, but you have a smartphone. My old smartphone would not load Ask a Judge. It would not load up the fucking chat room. So what the fuck are we supposed to do then? So, where's my phone? So we would just Google the fucking answer or whatever, but there's a site on Wizards.
The actual
somewhere.
Magic the Gathering site.
Actual Magic.
Wizards of the Coast. I think it's a WOTC.
I'm sure they have
Or is it Wizards.com?
5
It might be
links. They'll probably bring it to the
Wizards.com.
same page.
Okay,
Google it.
so this is all sorts of fucking... wizards.com/magic/tcg/article.aspx?x equals magic/rules. That's real easy to remember, right?
Oh, yeah. That's
Type in
pull that
magic
up.
rules in Google. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all I did was into Google, I typed
yeah.
in Magic the Gathering rules, and
It'll come up.
so on the actual Wizards website, there's a page. It says Magic the Gathering rules. It gives you a link to the basic rule book for casual play in most ordinary situations. You'll find what you need in the Magic the Gathering basic rule book, which I'm sure is something close to like the inserts they give you.
Yeah, it's not like super comprehensive.
Yeah, it's a very
It'll help you kind of get there, but it might not have specific kind of answers to specific rulings. So there is something else you can look at on that website.
So you could also go to the Gatherer on the Wizards website, which it basically just looks up cards. But it says Gatherer is Wizards of the Coast searchable database of Magic the Gathering cards. It includes the authoritative oracle wording for each card. So basically it will kind of give you some, like, spell out what the card does, in the kind of textbook sort of way.
It will also provide examples of rulings to interactions with other cards that aren't commonly known.
Right.
And how like certain more intricate interactions with cards work. So that's another good thing. You have a question about something, you kind of know the game, you're like, I want to know how this works. Well, you can go look up the card, and most likely you'll have the interaction with the other card you're looking for, and tell you the specific ruling of what happens. So that's really good, I think.
Okay, so for all you paralegals out there,
Yeah,
there is one more link on this page,
that's what I'm talking about.
and it's the comprehensive rules. It is a PDF file, and I can only assume it's written in the language of lawyers.
It is real. I've gone through like a little of it, like when we had to look up certain things, and it is definitely, when they say comprehensive, they mean comprehensive. It has
every rule, right?
Literally every rule and every kind of iteration that you could probably think of, the interactions of that rule and how it works. It's pretty much the Bible of rule books. I think this is like what the judges study and like know by heart.
It says it's the ultimate authority for the Magic game, but you won't usually need to refer to them except in specific cases or during competitive games. They are not meant to be read from start to finish.
Yeah. So this is like real. It's like the rule reference when you need to know like the exact words and how the exact interactions work with that rule. Like, it is literally comprehensive. It is.
It's like in a city hall meeting when they're like, I would like to refer to the referendum of the second page, Article 2, Paragraph 9, the third sentence, point A, B, 6 of, where it says we want to be changed to is.
Exactly.
Like, it's very to the fucking letter, and you might have some difficulty understanding what the fuck it's trying to say.
Yeah, it's definitely not for. I mean, I can't say it's not for beginners. Like, they have it where it's kind of, you can understand it, but you just really have to dig for what you're looking for.
You have to have a general grasp.
Yeah,
of the
you got to
basics.
know what, like, say, like.
You gotta know what the
You got to
stack
understand, like,
is,
lifelink and, like,
lifelink.
something like that. Like, oh, well, I want to see the ruling on lifelink versus, like, protection or something like that. It'll spell it out for you, but it's definitely a chore to get to it, as opposed to, like, just asking a judge, like, oh, hey, can lifelink affect people that have protection, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll give you a straightforward yes or no answer. This one's more like if you're, like, playing in a tournament setting and you need to know the exact, like, wording that Wizards is set out on this rule. Like, you need to know that exact interaction.
So if you have, like... I wouldn't suggest this for if you're in the middle of a game with a friend and you have a question and you want to just find a quick ruling. I would not suggest this. Because I went to go look at it myself, and it is just... It's chloroform coming through your screen. Like, you start reading it and you're just like, I want to take a nap. Ugh. It's like fucking boring,
Oh yeah, it's definitely made, like what they say, it's for a tournament setting. Like when there's like, money on the line or like some kind of prize on the line and you need to know exactly how the rule is, then that's what you would refer to.
But if you are the type of person who really wants to understand every fucking rule to the letter, and every interaction, and you don't want it, even if you're playing kitchen table Magic, but you don't want your friend to get the advantage, you want to know the specific rules because you don't want to hear him fucking brag for 5 weeks how fucking, whatever. So this is what you'd go for the rules spelled out to the letter.
I think you guys should just print it out and then put it in front of the toilet.
Yeah. Just put it in like a 3-ring binder.
Yeah.
Hardcover.
Or just use
Take
it
a
as
tape of it and play it while you're sleeping.
Or just use it as wallpaper. Like you're just like one of those maniacs who are like writing stuff all over the walls, like a circle pointing to here, and
like a string, like 10 strings on one to another one.
Exactly.
like it's cross-country murder investigation.
Stowe is going to Lifelink, Stowe's going to Heroic or whatever, and all this stuff. Oh.
So those are all the. I mean, this was a big thing for us when we first started playing. To like
even now, even to this day, we could still refer to Ask a Judge or something like that if we don't know the specific ruling.
Ask a Judge.
We look it up.
The website I think is what I use the most. I would say we use the most.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely the
quick,
easiest.
It's convenient. It gets rid of it's using a human interaction gets rid of the bullshit. Instead of looking for keywords and making sure you're looking it up correctly,
or even understanding
you can skip all that shit.
Yeah.
Just explain it to a human being. He'll process it his way, and then he'll fucking spit out an answer. It's way faster.
So that's definitely the easiest. I mean, we wanted to give you all sorts of scenarios to where you can find a ruling no matter what situation you're in. But Ask a Judge is by far the easiest, quickest, and you don't have to fucking know anybody to fucking get it done. You can just don't have to rely on your own smarts. You don't have to rely on, calling somebody and awkwardly saying, oh, well, can I tap fucking Elvish Mystic when I'm blocking, Like, yeah, you can, you idiot. Like, okay, thanks, bye, and then hang up all awkwardly. That's the easiest way, is Ask a Judge.
All you have to know is read and type.
Yep, can you read? Check. Can you type? Check. Do you have eyeballs? Check. Okay, good. You're good to go. You can make a ruling.
Sure, if you can read, you're gonna have eyeballs.
There's Braille. Okay, I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't want to leave. I wonder if they have Braille magic cards.
I don't know. Maybe that's a market we should suggest the WotC, right?
Yeah,
we already copyrighted it, by the way. So
I'm gonna stab my eyeballs out, and then I'm gonna sue them.
Check it out. I can't play Magic because there's no Braille Magic cards. Oh man, but yeah, we're just trying to give you guys tools for your Magic toolbox.
All right, we should go ahead and become judges. Right? Mm-hmm. Highest level judge. And then we're going. We should do that, and then we should all go to our local community college and teach classes. Make a little money on the side.
Nice.
People play Magic. We have like recess.
Curriculum,
like that.
Magic
recess.
Magic 101.
Yeah, Magic 101.
Have like a judge's program or something like that.
We could give out like the bags of milk that you have to stab the straw into for lunch.
Exactly.
And then you get a little milk on you, and you stink for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. It is like that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's why I don't drink milk.
Yeah. That's why I don't play.
Who drinks milk?
That's why I don't play tetherball down at the local middle school anymore.
Yeah.
Amongst other reasons.
The restraining order and all that.
Yeah.
Fucking Ronald.
Didn't help I was wearing a Ronald McDonald mask at the time. I thought they'd enjoy it.
Or any mask at the time, to be honest.
Sir, you can't be here, let alone wearing a mask. Anyway.
All right, continuing on.
Man. There's a bear that would love to join this podcast. Pedo bear. Anyways, is that going to do it? Do we have time?
I think that'll probably wrap it up for today.
Wrap it up?
We definitely hit on some good points, some high notes, some low notes, some
definitely
pedophilia
low
notes.
Yeah. Stick around next week. I'm going to be introducing a new segment called How Not to Be a Dick.
At your local game store.
No,
in
just in general.
Yeah, no, this is life lessons.
This is life lessons.
I like this.
Mostly trying to revolve around Magic, but it's just a general, kind of like what grinds my gears.
Okay.
Like just how not to be a fucking dick. So stick around for that.
So, I wanted to say that as far as what we're doing lately, we're recording this on a Saturday, and it should be up. I'm hoping you guys hear this. Maybe it's Tuesday when you hear this. I don't know.
Yeah, we're trying to get them out on Tuesday.
Okay.
You know, we're not professionals, but Tuesday is what we aim for.
But another thing we're starting, you can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and then you can view our versus videos and our unboxing of Journey into Nyx and whatnot. We're going to start doing versus recordings every Monday from here on out, unless Act of God stops us from meeting up. So you can expect that later of each week, Thursday, Friday, something like that, there will be versus videos up every week as long as the great gods of Magic will let us.
And we have decks to actually play.
Yeah, exactly. So we do have new decks that we've built this week. We have some Pauper.
We can do Pauper.
We have Commander, Jace versus Veraska. We have a lot of options. Let us know what options you would want to see. And otherwise, we'll just put out whatever content we want to do.
Yeah.
But I would expect to see that on a weekly basis. The website now has a little description of us, what we like to do in Magic, what we're all about, what we do for If Lands Could Kill. So check that out. That's on our website, iflandscouldkill.com.
I wrote that in like 5 minutes.
Good.
That's all it's supposed to be.
I wrote like a full novel. Yeah, proper punctuation and many paragraphs.
Yeah, as always, check us out on Twitter, Facebook, everything, website.
Yeah, Twitter,
We're out there
Facebook.
on the media.
So, I don't know if we have it, but we should have our own, Twitter links and everything under our bios, just because it's a pain to, put 20 fucking links in the show notes. Who wants to fucking read through all that? So in the bios, they'll have our own personal Twitch links and our Twitter links and our Moto names.
And each of us do a different thing for If Lands Could Kill, so if you have a specific question, generally, ask us generally, that's fine, but you could ask us individually and probably get a better answer for what you're looking for. Like Aquickness does the website, and things like that. And I do the video, on-camera video. And each of us does our own video capture through the computer, but yeah.
So thanks for tuning in once again. This is episode 8?
Episode 8.
Damn.
Big 8.
With a sweet title.
I know, with a sweet title. Which I need to think of. So, put me on the spot, so thanks for tuning in. This has been episode 8 of If Lands Could Kill. I'm Knife City.
I'm Aquickness.
This is Ryke.
Hot sauce.
And, stay golden, pony boy. That's horrible.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. It's like a reference from some 80s movie. Should we rewind and do it again?
No, it's good.
No?
Going
I
on
like it.
there?
Perfect.
No?
No.
You don't like
Easy,
No,
Just
it's
make it
perfect.
an awkward ending.
it? Yeah. Just leave all this.
easy breezy, beautiful Magic
Cover
player.
girl. Cover girl.
No?
That's copyrighted.
No, okay. I'm loving it.
Yep.
That's better. That's better.
Okay.
That's a lot
Yep.
better. I liked the last time when you did the lined it up. Classic Knife City. That was hilarious.
Yeah, this podcast is brought to you by IntelliColor, or Color Vision.
Jellyvision.
Awesome.
No, but seriously, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. The whole thing?
The whole thing!
No.
They're hearing it all.
Just a tip.
This is what happens after the podcast. Man, I don't know why, but I feel like we have good stuff to talk about,
We always have good stuff to talk
Well, we always have good stuff to talk about, but
What are you trying to say, Corey? We don't got
I'm
good
trying
stuff
to
to
say
talk
we had
about?
filler, okay? We had filler.
No, this is not filler. This is quality content. Filler is when they grind up newspaper and stick it in your lunch food, or whatever it is.
That's
That's filler.
It's like a chicken nugget. It's
Yeah, it's all just ground up newspaper and asbestos.
Yeah, they clean out all this asbestos
Yeah.
from all the old buildings. They contain it, and they're like, it's like chicken.
Like, what are we
nugget.
gonna do with all this asbestos?
Yeah, or we're gonna be just like chicken food. They feed all the chickens this shit, and then that's half their chicken
Then
food right there.
mutant asbestos chickens. I wonder what asbestos tastes like.
Chicken nuggets.
It tastes like heaven until you die.
Like Ronald McDonald's nutsack.
Yes, his taint. Oh man, does Ronald McDonald have a taint?
Probably not.
Probably not. I think he's one of those like Barbies
Yeah, it's just all
or the Ken dolls.
anatomically correct.
They made him that way so he couldn't be a pedophile.
No matter how hard he
Yeah, no
tried.
matter how fucking nice.
But he's just still trying. He's like, damn it, work.
Take a smooth surface.
Yeah, exactly. I'm raping you. I'm raping you.
Oh god.
On a lighter note, you know that chicken nuggets are tempura fried? I didn't know that. It's weird.
Interesting.
Tempura fried.
It's weird. Tempura batter instead of a regular fucking flour and other shit.
Batter.
Yeah, egg yolk and flour and all that crap.
Oh boy. Ask Jill.
See how I turned that around into a very boring conversation?
Yeah, that turned out pretty good. I like that. I like where we were going.
Yeah, from
Then we did a 180.
pedophilia to cooking tips.
Just tempura batter.
Yeah.
But dude,
It is so good.
he can pull down his pants in court and be like, can't prosecute this. Can't prosecute this. Nothing happened. Now I'm just picturing Ronald McDonald with a strap on.
I'm gonna get it one way or another.
No, you're gonna get it one way or another.
Oh my god.
That's my child one.